Hello.
Hello, is this Alex?
Why do I
This
keep
is
putting an
him.
E in bottom?
I'm sorry, is this Alex?
Yes, this is him.
Oh, Alex, welcome, welcome. I wasn't sure if I was
Uh,
supposed to call you or you were calling me.
okay, I wasn't sure either. I was holding off for 11 thinking you were calling, but we're good.
As long as
All
we
right,
all got it figured out.
exactly. All right, everybody, this is Alex Red from Atomic Wrestling Entertainment. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Good, good. How are you doing tonight, my friend?
We are doing very good, actually. You are a busy motherfucker. I've been watching your posts on Facebook, and you've just been blowing shit up.
Yeah, it's a 24/7 job, that's for sure. It never stops. Never stops. That's a good thing, though. Staying busy with it, working towards the
No,
future.
absolutely, and it's been crazy. Obviously, now, okay, now tell me a little bit about Atomic Wrestling.
Well, AWE Atomic Wrestling Entertainment. I started it. Well, first of all, I had the idea to start it in November of 2016, and we did our first show in February of this year, and it's blown up. It's crazy. Like, I don't know, the shows have just gotten bigger and bigger, and the talent. We've had such amazing talent. My influence to start Atomic Wrestling was I grew up watching ECW. And I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
a lot of wrestling, yeah, I mean, back, I love that extremeness, something different. And I feel like wrestling nowadays, it's lost that edge to it. And I guess it hasn't had balls anymore. That's what I want to say. Wrestling, people are afraid to cross lines and do something different. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with Atomic Wrestling is do something different, cross lines, and bring that extreme edge back to wrestling that's been missing for a while. Um,
Very cool.
and that's what I've been working towards, and it's been really successful. This was our first year, and it's definitely been successful. Each show, the attendance, it's grown. YouTube videos. I mean, we have some videos that are upwards of 400,000 views. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Just in our first year, and it's all it all started from an idea I had back in November of last year. So it's crazy. It's crazy to see it unfold.
Okay, so you basically started, as you said, November of last year. You started with, you got this idea formulated, and you kind of took off from there, and you just kind of been blowing up since then. I mean, when was the first, I guess, match after you conceived this idea?
February of this year was our first show.
Okay, so
And we,
you got December, January, February. So within 3 months, you were getting out there and doing your first show.
oh yeah, went balls to the wall, just went all in for it. Absolutely.
Awesome. We like balls to the walls.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have 13 years experience as a promoter because before I did the wrestling, I worked in the music business. I mean, I still work in the music business, but I was a promoter, and I've done it with tons of different venues around Florida, ranging from House of Blues to various other venues, and work with so many national bands ranging from Cradle of Filth to Bone Thugs and Harmony, like anyone you can imagine. And I basically took the marketing experience and the promotional experience I've gained over the years and took it that way with wrestling, which is not really anyone's done with no one's had that approach with wrestling so far. So that's why it's something different. I'm bringing a musical influence into it. That's why it's just something edgier, something different.
Okay,
So.
okay. I have to admit I'm not a huge fan of wrestling. It's never been my thing. I've seen a few things here and there. I mean, the last one I watched, I only watched because the characters from Psych were on it. That was like 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's when they were doing the guest general managers and stuff. I remember that.
Yeah, they were on there. But I have enjoyed some of the wrestling characters that have come across. But I never got into wrestling. So what about wrestling has got you so hooked? I mean, what about the wrestling aspect that you just enjoy the most?
I guess actually, kind of like what you're saying. I love the characters to it. I love. I grew up watching wrestling as a kid. My dad and I mean, it's kind of a cliche story, but it's true. Me and my dad, that was our one connection, was watching wrestling, and it's the only thing we ever did when I spent time with him, was just watch wrestling. And I guess I hold a special connection to it because it's something I grew up on, and it's something special because I don't know. I like escaping reality, and I kind of feel
Okay.
like that's what wrestling is. It's an escape from reality. And, some people say it's like a soap opera, this and that, but it kind of is. It's something you can emotionally invest yourself into, and it disconnects you from any problem you might have in, real life, whatever might be going on.
Right.
It's just something, it's an escape. That's what I like about it. It's something different. And then I get emotionally invested into the characters and the gimmicks and stuff that they have, because I think it's awesome. I mean, if it's done right, it's awesome.
Right. Now, do you create these characters, or do you kind of find a wrestler and you guys create it together? What is the process there?
Some. I mean, yeah, we have a lot of people who have already built up a name and established themselves who have come into Atomic Wrestling. But then there's those select few that I've kind of, from the newer students and stuff, where I've kind of created characters and created, a whole backstory, a whole thing. But it really takes the person to bring that character to life and know how to adapt to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, there's a few that I've created that's in the company. But a lot of them are, because we have a lot of big names that have joined Atomic Wrestling. Like, I know at our 1-year anniversary show coming up in February, we have names like Tommy Dreamer, who, ECW legend right off the
Holy
bat.
shit, I know him.
Yeah. So, yeah, some people, we've created, and by we, I mean me, I've created these characters, and just kind of, again, because I grew up watching wrestling, so I look at it from a fan's perspective of what would I like to see play out. And I hope, people enjoy it too, and they seem to be, so it's awesome.
No, that is awesome, and I love when people approach a project in that manner. It's like, movies, wrestling, music. It's okay, as a fan of these different things, what do I want to see? And generally speaking, you actually get a pretty good response from that, because, there are a lot of fans out there who are like, it'd be awesome if we saw this, or it'd be awesome if this happened. And, being a fan, you get to create that from that perspective. And I think a lot of people respond to that.
Oh, absolutely. And because I've met people, I obviously I won't say names, but I've met certain people throughout the music business and even in the wrestling business who got into it for the wrong reasons. Like, it's like, oh, I want to be a rock star. Oh, I want to be on TV, so I want to make money and do this. It's like, well, I don't think that's the right approach. I think you should do something because you genuinely actually love to do it, and it's a passion. And it's something you'd like to do, not something like, well, I want to make money. Like, I don't think that should be the be all end all of everything. I think you should love what you do and have passion for it.
No, exactly. And that's that whole philosophy that a lot of, people I look up to kind of promote. It's like, come from yourself, find that passion and do that, regardless of what it is, regardless if it makes you money, or regardless if you find fandom, or not fandom, but sorry, I've been drinking. Be famous.
Right. No, I get what you're
don't
saying.
find that spotlight. Just go and find what you're passionate about, enjoy it, and then your life will be happy.
Oh, trust me. No, I 100% agree, and I've spent the past few years of my life as a vocalist in a band, and we've toured around this country with lots of big acts and we've done a lot of good stuff, but in the end, I never really made money from it, and it was just more of a just kind of pay the gas and, the gas to get to the next city and have food to eat sort of thing. But, again, it's genuinely because I love doing it, not because I was looking to make money. That's why it continued and continued and continued. And still to this day, my band, because I'm kind of focused on the wrestling thing more than anything, but we're doing select big shows, and we have like a big show we're doing in February, actually in Detroit, which I can't actually announce that just yet. But,
But Redler's close to Detroit, so he can kind of come up there when you're ready to announce it. Let us know, and we'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
I can say we're playing. It's close to Detroit. It's a venue called the Crowfoot in Potomac.
I've
Michigan.
heard of that.
Yeah, it's a really nice venue. We were invited to play there by a really big artist that we've done a lot of shows with, which I
Excellent.
can't announce it just yet.
That's
But
fine. We can build the anticipation for it.
and like this is good because they're, right off the bat, it's their hometown. They usually sell it out, upwards of 1,200 people, they say, and we've only played that area one time, and it was a smaller show. So I look at it like, oh, this is a great opportunity. So, in the end, we're going to lose money, but at the same time, it's kind of that investment, like building, like, hey, you know what, we're going to meet a lot of people, and we're building for the future. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's just it. And that's with anything in the entertainment industry. You're going to have years where you just lose money, and then you're going to have years where you make enough just to get by, and then hopefully that leads to, bigger and better things. So...
Exactly. If there's something you really love to do, you want to do, you have to invest yourself and believe in it and just work towards it. And as long as you have that passion for it, you'll continue to go through it, and it's not going to feel like work. It's going to feel like something you love doing. So.
Well, and that's the whole reason we do this show. I mean,
exactly.
We don't make crap doing it. We spend money to do it, but we enjoy talking. We enjoy entertaining mostly ourselves. But we enjoy being entertaining, and, we love being able to talk to different people doing different things. I mean, this last year we ventured out into actors and producers and directors, and now obviously wrestling. Cool. And now that comes from, just talking strictly to bands, independent bands coming up, and, local bands, and everybody just kind of struggling. And it's awesome for us to be able to venture out and, talk to these different people. And, it's definitely a joy having you on our show. And I'm sorry, I'm just rambling on at this point, but
no, Alex,
we're sitting back just and letting me go.
No, and I'm just waiting for an opportunity to interject here. And okay, first of all, my son has been watching WWE since roughly 2005-ish. He's only 15, and then my daughter now is a huge WWE fan, and she's been watching for, I don't know, 5-6 years now or whatever. But when I mentioned to them one of your latest signings, who used to be Jack Swagger. They both got extremely excited. My daughter's actually listening right now. She's actually just getting ready to clock into her job, and
actually, she's one of the reasons we wanted to get somebody from the wrestling industry onto the show.
Very cool. Very cool. Because trust me, it's huge having Jack Swagger. I know that because again, I've sat back and watched him as a fan. And to be working with him now on that level, it's surreal to me. It's something I'm still not used to, honestly.
No, that's awesome. That really is. Now are you? Or I guess I don't know if it's exactly the same, but are you one of the writers that does the scripts for the wrestlers?
Oh yeah, I handle literally like everything when it comes to AWE as far as. I book the talent, I, negotiate everything, I book the shows, I market the shows 100%, and then, yes, at the end of the day, all the matches that you see at Atomic Wrestling, the stories, everything, it's all 100% just stuff that I've thought of, that I wanted to see as a fan. So I wanted to bring it to life, because a lot of stuff, again, I love WWE, I'm still a fan of it, I watch it all the time, but they're very, because they're, a corporate company, there's a lot that they can't necessarily do.
Right.
And that's why I try to do something a little bit different. And I don't know, I don't know where I'm going with that.
You don't have that corporate stranglehold that you have to follow.
Yeah,
you can be a little bit, you can be more creative, you can go more to what you feel is going to be better for the industry.
Exactly, and that's what I want to do. I want to create unique storylines that get people, emotionally attached, and just grab people, whether you want to boo someone or whether you want to cheer someone. I think like whether you really want to hate this person or you really want to like them, as long as you're emotionally invested, that's what counts. And that's the type of storylines. Like, I create all the storylines. I sit down and I write, okay, where do I want this person to be in 6 months? Okay, so right now we're here, and we can take this road, or this road. So let's see, and kind of just go from there.
Gotcha.
So it's intense actually coming up, but I try to do something different to, you know, make everyone happy, because you got to have the talent be happy. You got to make sure that they can also play the roles really good. The person's going to fit the role, and then you got to hope that the people who are coming out to the shows are enjoying it too. So.
Now, have you mostly been around? I'm sorry, honey.
No, go ahead, baby.
I'm dominating this, and I shouldn't be, but I am.
No, go by it. Go all means, baby.
Have your shows been mostly in Florida, or have you kind of branched out of Florida? Or are you kind of like getting shows here and there across the United States?
Oh, no. We're still strictly based in Florida right now. That will change. 2018 is actually going to be a really big growing year, because 2017 was our, you know, it's Atomic Wrestling's first year, so it's kind of getting our feet wet and getting it kind of like, okay, we're here, so now let's kind of test the waters and see what we can do. And then now 2018 is the year to sort of start growing, start looking at different directions we can take it to bring it to the next level and continue. I'd like to bring it on the road. I initially did have the offer to do a show in New Orleans this year, a part of WrestleMania week. I had the offer on the table, but I don't think it's the right time. Just because I'm still too new at this, and it's almost a year, but I still think it's too new for that. But I've already had some talks with people, and WrestleMania 2019, I've heard rumors it's going to either be in Philadelphia or Detroit, one of those two cities. Very nice. I've already talked with certain people in both cities to make sure that we are a part of that, and that would probably be our first venture outside of Florida, because I think that's a good way to kind of get started, because WrestleMania is crazy. I mean, no matter what city they end up in, it's, you know, 70 to 80,000 people that are there in town for WrestleMania that week, and it helps independent wrestling companies get exposure. So
yeah, exactly. Well, if you ever make it to, because I'm only going to be here till 2019, because then my daughter graduates from high school, and then I'm moving up to Ohio, Michigan area. We haven't decided where, but so if you're here in Texas, in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, you know, let us know. I extend this offer to everybody. You guys can come over. We'll have a barbecue. We'll have, you know, whatever. Over to my house.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
that. That's
Fort
awesome.
Worth.
Very cool. I used to live in Texas. I used to live in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Okay, I'm like 10 hours north of that.
Yeah, I know. It's Corpus Christi south. Like, you are right there at the very bottom.
Right there on the tip of Texas.
Yeah.
But if you guys happen to be, you know, it happens to be in Detroit in 2019, we would love to be able to come out and support you guys. Because 2019 is, you know, my daughter graduates. I plan on moving up there. So, you know, hopefully we could, you know, work something out to where we can come out and support you guys, maybe do a couple live interviews or something. That'd be phenomenal. You know, because we definitely want to help you guys out.
That would be really awesome, and even do something where set it up to interview some of the bigger name wrestlers too and stuff. So.
Well, the only wrestler I want to interview is Andre the Giant, and he died years ago. So, you know, there's that.
Yeah, Andre's a legend. He definitely changed the business, that's for sure.
Well, you know, and I didn't even, you know, I knew he was a wrestler, but I absolutely loved him to death in Princess Bride, which is one of my
Princess Bride, yes.
Which is one of my favorite all-time movies. So, but you know, it'd be an awesome chance to interview anybody if we could. You know, if it happened to be in Detroit in 2019. Philadelphia would be a little bit of a challenge for us. We'd have to actually figure out how to get there, but you know, it's not too far away from Detroit, I guess.
No, but now we're working on growing. So right now it's we're based out of Cocoa, Florida, and we've been doing some stuff in Orlando and such, and I might slowly look to do some different cities in Florida. It's just it is a lot of work, and it's
I'm
like
sure it is.
It's a lot of work.
I got to ask you, Alex. One of our co-hosts, she was the best man at our wedding, and
Yes.
she has been one of my co-hosts for probably 9.5 years now, and a very dear friend, Maggie Foster. She is the one
Yeah.
who actually gave me your information to set this up. Now, how well do you know her?
Not honestly, not too well. I did meet her back in 2003 because we had a mutual friend, this guy Nathan that I knew, and I mean we hung out a couple times, but other than that, I mean she's always been on my friends list and supported and all that, but
Okay.
um, not really since then, honestly.
No,
That's
no,
cool.
and
Been a
no,
while.
that is cool. I was just kind of curious of the relationship you guys may or may not have had, because it's always interesting on how people connect. It's like, okay, we
Yeah.
connected you through my best man, quote unquote, and I've known her for, like I said, 10 years now, basically, and for her to hook us up with you was, I thought that was amazing because it's a
That's
chance,
all. Yeah.
it's
Too
another
awesome.
chance for us to branch out and to expose another genre of the industry, so to speak.
Absolutely, because it's like y'all were saying earlier, doing the bands and then to actors and all that stuff. Like, I think that's good because then you're getting exposure and help. It's you're helping gain exposure to Hellcast, and then you're also helping that particular talent, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. That's how you grow a business, right there. Just
And
No,
anyone and
exactly.
everyone.
and that's our goal. We mean, we don't really we really just want to reach out to the different people. Our ultimate goal is to get a politician on the line, which we know
Oh
is going
yeah,
to be like a far-fetched idea, but expanding into actors and wrestling and these different things. I'm really proud of the way we've gone, and I really hope to expand on that. Well, I'm sorry, Redler and I both expect hope to expand on that. This is his show. I kind of pop in and take over the interviews. But it's awesome to be able to talk to people, and we are actually planning to be in Orlando December of next year. So if there's
oh
a
very cool.
show you happen to be in around Orlando, please let us know. We'd love to pop in, even if for whatever day that is.
I can 100% guarantee we will have a show in December.
Oh,
I can
absolutely.
100% guarantee that. We literally the only month that we do not have an actual show in is January. Other than that, we have a show every month for 2018 already
Oh,
scheduled.
sure, baby. I don't know if we can
Okay,
support them.
well,
They're
once
not
we
going to
get,
support my birthday.
honey, your birthday is it's that's just all in your head. It's all good. Okay, once we get some things planned out, we'll contact you and we'll tell you when we're planning on being there because like I said, my daughter's graduating 2019. I'm a very much she's my only daughter that I had by birth. Redler has children and they are my children, but I know
Yeah,
she's my baby. And she's planning on going to North Carolina to go to school, and I'm going to be in. Anyway, it's a whole issue. But
very
anyway,
cool.
before she graduates, we plan on doing Christmas, going to like all the Disney parks in Orlando.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
definitely a must. Trust me, I go
yeah,
to Disney all the time. That's a must.
Yeah, I mean, we went there when she was like 5 years old. We went to Epcot and they did the whole Santa different cultures thing, and we
Yeah,
absolutely love it. So we want to go and experience that again before she goes off to college. So that's the whole reason we're going to be in Orlando December of 2018. Just got to figure out the dates and shit. So once we figure all that, we'll contact you, we'll figure out if we can figure out how we can come and see one of your wrestling shows and figure out from
absolutely,
there.
absolutely. I definitely look forward to it.
Now, let me ask you, Alex, is there
Yeah.
anybody that is currently, quote unquote, a free agent that you would like to sign to AWE?
There's a couple, and one of them I actually already have working with. Um, I mean, I kind of made the announcement already, and then it was a little premature. I wasn't supposed to announce it.
You know,
Uh-oh.
let me hold on. Let me interject here real quick. You have made so many non-announcements that have been so indirect. It's ridiculous. All right, please continue.
Well, I kind of made an announcement. I think within the past couple of weeks, of someone who was actually recently released from the WWE, and I wasn't supposed to announce her yet, and I did, and like within half an hour, I immediately got hit up by a legal team from
Oh.
Yeah.
like I couldn't announce at that time because of contractual obligations.
Right.
And so I'm announcing it Monday. This Monday, I'm announcing officially her. She was recently in the WWE, and she was a big name in WWE. That's really all I can say.
Okay. Can you say whether she's going to be a heel or a face?
That's a good question on this. I'm
getting ready to
I
tweet it. That's why I'm asking.
I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being heel.
Okay.
People are going to want to cheer her, but I think she is a perfect heel.
And this is going to be on Monday?
Yes, Monday.
Oh, people can't wait.
As far as if there's anyone else out there that's free agents, I mean, yeah, trust me, there's a lot of people out there. There's one in particular. He's not really a free agent, but he's free to work wherever he wants, even though he's contractually obligated to Ring of Honor. They still allow him to compete in independent promotions. It's Cody Rhodes. That's one person I've wanted to work with for a long time. Cody Rhodes. Yes.
Well, Riddler's
I think he's a phenomenal talent.
Well, no, I know the kid, and well, I consider him a kid because he's probably half my fucking age still. But I mean, Cody Rhodes is the son of the legendary Dusty Rhodes, who was phenomenal back in the '80s. And
phenomenal! He is a true legend. Rest in peace. I mean,
exactly. You know, I can actually, and the reason I can talk wrestling is because my best friends, who I've known for 35 plus years now, their dad was huge into the NWA before, and then WWF before it became WWE, and so we watched that.
That's because they got sued by the Wildlife Federation.
Yes, and then,
that's why they changed it. That was interesting.
And so then, there was the two entities, and then, everybody went over to WWE, basically. And, I watched so many of those wrestlers back in the day, because at the time, it was so cool to wrestle. We would buy the little G.I. Joe figures, and we would make a wrestling ring out of, some string and some posts or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'd make our own little WWE ring, and we would wrestle these guys. And we would actually, me and my buddies, Mish and OP, we would actually keep track of who won and who lost, and who had the better record and who was going for what title. And it was fucking awesome back then. But that was, we were teens. We didn't know that. We played with Hot Wheels in the dirt in the backyard underneath the old pool. So I mean,
well, because back then you look at it like kind of like this is this larger than life. Like you had like the Hulk Hogan's and the Andre the Giants and
absolutely
the Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flairs, to where it's kind of like they were these larger than life personalities and just these big guys and stuff. Where it's like, oh, that's a badass right there. So it's like this badass. Yeah, you had the the action figures, the giant plush animal like stuffed wrestlers. I remember they had the Macho Man, Randy Savage ones and all that. So I'm just like, man, like, oh yeah, I had all that stuff when I was younger.
Here's a question you may love, Alex. Give me, let's say your top 5 wrestlers that you've ever seen.
Oh, that's easy. Number one for me, my favorite wrestler of all time, hands down, has always been Chris Jericho.
Oh, wow.
Y2J.
Yeah, Chris Jericho has since he just I don't know, just something about him. He is just he's everything you want in a wrestler as far as he has great actual technical wrestling abilities, great
Yes, he
submission,
does.
but then he's this larger than life personality. And aside from the wrestling, he does music, and I'm actually a huge fan of his band Fozzy, and just
I
I
got
like
something to
that
say.
all the different things. I like that when you could have multiple. You
Alex,
can work on all
I
these
He's
got
different
getting all
things.
giddy.
I am getting all giddy because, okay, Alex, I actually have multiple interview requests for him and his band Fozzy. Nothing to do with wrestling, but his fucking band to do with on my show because I've actually featured a couple of his songs on our quote unquote Battle of the Bands, which is what we call the King of the Hill. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
where
that's
we play.
awesome.
Yeah, we play three songs and they all battle each other out for votes and whatever. And I've actually featured two of his songs from his band Fozzy, and I've been trying for probably 3 years now to get an interview with him, with no success, unfortunately. But he
Obviously.
he remains one of my focal points as a dual threat, so to speak.
All
Oh
right.
man, yeah, no, he's tremendous. So yeah, trust me, if you ever get that interview, man,
We'll
that's
let
awesome.
you
See,
know.
I've had the opportunity to meet him a couple times. He's a really nice guy.
Really?
Of course he is.
Never, yeah, he's a really really nice guy. I met him when he was doing Fozzy shows, and just really nice guy. And I respect the hell out of everything he's done. He's a hard worker, and he's just talented all around. Whether it's wrestling, music, whatever he does, he's just tremendous talent. And he's been my favorite wrestler. Yeah, since God the late '90s. Wow. Um,
I think
okay, so
I
top
think
five.
he went to WWE in '98 or '99 when he
99.
came
It
out.
was their big Y2J. Yep.
The
Countdown clock
Y2J,
going
baby. That's
The
awesome.
Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yes. Oh, that is great. All right, who else is on your top five?
My number two is Raven, and it's because when I
Really?
think of like when I watch ECW and the old stuff, I mean not WWE Raven necessarily, but his ECW stuff, the psychology behind it. He is just a tremendous, not only talent in the ring, but his mind and how he can tell stories and how he can just the psychology behind everything. He's definitely someone that grabbed my attention. He had this amazing killer look to him, and it grabbed my attention. I think Raven, tremendous. So yeah, Jericho number one. Jericho's always my number one, but yeah, as far as I don't want to list anybody else in certain orders, but Jericho's definitely my number one. But yeah, Raven. I'm a huge fan of Razor Ramon Scott Hall. It was cool to be the
Scott
bad
Hall.
guy. That's
Wow.
And gosh, Kurt Angle was another one. When I think of Kurt Angle,
That motherfucker.
he is a wrestling machine. That guy right
Oh,
there,
yeah, he is.
tremendous talent. Just he's a machine. I mean,
He was a talent.
he's a
I don't think
wrestling
he had
machine.
1 ounce of personality, though.
No, he gained it later in his career, but when he first started out, it was all about just the physical wrestling, and he is
Because
just his wrestling
He just come
matches
off
in
a
general.
gold medal at the Olympics. That's why.
Yeah. And then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That's another one that instantly comes to mind as
Oh.
another phenomenal talent.
Very nice. I got to give you props for that one. Ricky the Dragon was a beast. He
Oh, and
was
you know,
an aeronautical.
I know we said five, but there's another. I know there's a five. You said five, but there's another one I got to list to is Roddy Piper. You know, rest in peace.
Who doesn't
That's
love
another
Roddy
guy who
Roddy
changed.
Piper?
He changed the wrestling business. That's the guy who basically did not give a shit, and he just went out there and just ran his mouth. He was a great
Yes, he
microphone and
was.
great personality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, he was great. I
He had a lot of
actually
charisma.
I loved him. I really did. He was. Oh, that's not the right name I'm looking for.
Try again, honey.
No, I'm trying to find Chris Jericho on Twitter, and it's not coming up right.
Well, it's because you suck.
I do.
Well,
But
let me tell you my top wrestlers. We got
please.
Andre the
Yeah.
Giant, we got The Rock, and we got John
Oh, yeah.
Cena.
John Cena, I will say this about him.
And that's
So
only
many
because
people
he was on
give-
Psych.
Here's the thing. So many people give John Cena a bad rep, but let me tell you, that is one of the hardest working guys in the wrestling business, and I have nothing but respect for John Cena.
And I have to agree with you on that because I'm like don't really pay attention. But when wrestlers show up on my favorite show, I'm gonna pay attention. And he just seems like a really cool all around dude.
Yeah.
Now, granted, is it the Miz? He's kind of
The
annoying.
Miz.
He's annoying as fuck.
Oh, he's
Miz
such an
works really
asshole.
hard,
I
though.
love him.
Oh my goodness, he was.
He works really
on
hard,
Psych,
though.
like, I'm sure he
He-
does, but he's annoying as fuck.
That's his. But see, there you go. You have that emotional feeling that you hate him, and that means he's playing his role perfectly. Then.
No, exactly, and I get that, and I do get that, but yeah, he just kind of just like I see his face and I just want to punch him.
Yeah, he kind of does have that face. Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Now,
But
now
I
let
see
me ask
John
you.
Cena, I just want to give a big hug.
All right. So I believe you've mentioned 4 so far, Alex.
I thought he mentioned 5.
I mentioned 6.
He mentioned
Oh.
6. You lost count.
Okay.
Over.
All right.
He
I'm
went
drinking.
above and beyond.
I'm drinking above and beyond. I must have missed something. All right. So I
Chris
saw.
Jericho, Kurt Angle. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that
went through a
you
bunch.
posted that you recently attended a WWE event. How was that?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's awesome. I've been going to them since I was a kid. I still, even though I might work in the business, and that's the thing is like, I don't know. I've had certain people be like, a couple of different people have been like, oh, you can't just go out there and be a fan. It's like, why not? Why can't I love
Yeah.
what I want? Why? Just because I work in the business doesn't mean I can't enjoy it still. And
Exactly.
no, I still go to I go to WrestleMania every year. That's my new tradition. I've been doing, and this I'll be going to WrestleMania in New Orleans just as a fan. I bought tickets, and this will be my 7th WrestleMania. And I'm going to Raw and SmackDown in Miami and then Orlando at the beginning of January. And I'm going to go pass out flyers for AWE, so there's also that. But
There you go.
there's that to promote, but I'm also going there to enjoy the show because I'm still very much a fan of, the products. So, and I want to support because I believe in that. I believe you should support, and work together and just. The second you lose that passion as a fan of something, then you shouldn't be doing it. And
No,
Right.
I understand that.
that-
And I can kind of relate, but then again, I kind of can't. It's like, okay, when I started doing this show, I guess the only person I really looked up to was Howard Stern because
Howard Stern is a legend.
I thought what I was doing was along his lines, and I have been told by many a listener that I am one and the same.
You're
Nobody
better than Howard Stern.
nobody ever expects or nobody anticipates what I'm going to say or do next. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
he has a little more leeway than I do, obviously, and has more financial dollars behind him, but I have gone to certain extremes. I've talked about certain things, and we've done a lot of things. And so anytime anyone has ever compared me to that person, I have considered it a complete honor. I really have because
Absolutely.
he is like the shock jock legendary
He's
status.
a fucking asshole.
That's besides the point, baby. It really
No,
is.
I can't. I know you like being compared to him, but I can't stand the dude. I think he needs to be not ever heard from again. But that's my opinion.
But I've actually heard quite a few comparisons to him, and I
Hmm.
love that because at that time when he was popular, he had so many listeners, and I not only do
Did
I want that for our show, I really do because I think the entertainment that we bring, the interviews that we do, the games that we play, and the topics that we talk about, and the music that we play that is unheard. I really think we bring the whole package that is just absolutely awesome. And the fact that we're now expanding into a completely new genre, which
yeah,
is it's reality ish, but it's not music and it's not acting. Well, it's kind of acting.
yeah.
And but I absolutely love it. And Alex, I cannot thank you enough for accepting this invite to our show tonight and being a
Oh,
part
are
of
you kidding
this.
me? Trust, dude, I cannot thank you enough for having me on. Trust me, I'm very appreciative for it, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to do it a couple weeks ago. I had phone issues. My phone, I've had the same phone for a couple years now, and it's just, I finally decided to just stop working.
I had that with my freaking what phone did I have? My one of my Motorola phones
Baby,
was
you
like
had the
that. It was
exact
just
phone
like,
that I have right now, the Droid Turbo 2.
yeah, it sucked ass after a year.
And
That's
I'm
what, yeah,
experiencing some of
that's
those
what
same
happens.
issues.
Yeah, my phone's starting to get that way, and I haven't had this phone too long, but it's starting to get that way, and I don't know. I feel like that's just phones in general. Like I think there's some,
They're making
I don't know.
them
Every time
cheaper
it's
and
like a
making us
new,
pay for them.
I know. I feel like every time they make you install a new update or something, it does something that
Mhm.
slowly takes away the life of
Mhm.
your phone. I don't know.
I agree with you on that one.
All right, so Alex, please tell us what is the next event that you have. Wow, I'm really struggling right now.
What do you
The
got
next
coming up, dude?
the next event for Atomic Wrestling Entertainment is actually our huge, massive 1 year anniversary show, and it is going down on Friday, February 16th, 2018, at our new home, new location, the Space Coast Convention Center in Cocoa, Florida. And
Oh
just
man.
there's
I
been
drove by
so much
there.
work put into that.
I drove by there last summer. My daughter and I went on a road trip to Orlando. We spent like 3 days in Universal, and then we drove over to Coco to see Maggie, aka Punkette, and then we drove up that little highway going up the little coast there, and we drove right
Yeah.
back there because we went to Daytona because we're NASCAR fans. So we drove up that little highway going on along the coast there, and we went to Daytona, and we passed by there.
It's a really nice location. It's and the staff there, the person who kind of allowed us in and all that, just extremely nice, extremely easy to work with, and it's a really nice facility. Everything's professional, and it's going to be our first time in there, and I'm looking forward to it because we have the whole year booked there, and
Excellent.
I'm stoked for it. I think it's going to be awesome, and like I said, what better way to start than with our 1 year anniversary show? So it's a big party. We put a
Absolutely.
lot into it with Tommy Dreamer, Jack Swagger. There's
Oh
just
wow.
so many big names on the show. It's going to
No,
be
you're right.
it's going to be a crazy show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, obviously, we can talk into more detail about this later, but I would just like throw this out there. Maybe you can think about it. I would love to possibly get Maggie, who is one of our co-hosts, as someone with some I don't know, maybe press credentials or something, who can get in there and actually interview maybe you or any of the talent that's on display that night. As
Absolutely, actually, that'd be awesome.
as a way to expose you guys more to the world.
No, that I'm 100% cool with that. That'd be awesome. Trust me, that any publicity on either side, it's always that's how you
Excellent.
grow right there.
No
No,
press is bad press, right?
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
We would definitely be honored to do any kind of interviews that we can get with you guys, and broadcast them, uh,
Yeah, no, we
on
definitely
our
have to talk
station.
to Punkette about this, and see what we can figure out, and we would definitely like to do some cross promotion and
Absolutely.
whatever we can do to help you guys out.
Absolutely, 100% down, and definitely want to work together. That'd be awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, Eric. Chris, we're going to go ahead and let you go here, but before we do, we would like to ask you one thing. Just say who you are, who you represent, and that you are listening to Hellcast Radio.
All right. This is Alex Red, the fearless leader of AWE Atomic Wrestling Entertainment, and you are listening to Hellcast Radio.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Spectacular.
Alex.
That was awesome.
Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it.
You have a wonderful rest of your night, unless Redler has something else to say.
No, I was just going to say drink one for me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
We'll talk to you soon, sir.
Yeah. Absolutely. Talk to you soon, man.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.